All right. If everybody would please return to their seats and remain standing for Nolan Duck is going to give us prayer and our Pledge of Allegiance.
Good morning. Glad to see everybody here. Are there any prayer concerns that have not been voiced at this point toward us? Anything that we need to pray about today? Specific concern? All right. Well, then let's go to the Lord in prayer. Heavenly Father, we thank you so much for the chance to be together, for the friendships that we enjoy so much in Rotary, and for the opportunities that we have to help others. Lord, we ask that you would give us a heart that is focused on others rather than ourselves, so that we might in some way encourage and help the people around us. Thank you for all the people that are gathered here today. Thank you for the fellowship that we enjoy. Thank you for the food that we're eating today, for just all the ways that you nourish us. We ask that you'd watch over us during this day and during this meeting as well. Thank you, Lord. Amen. Before we do the pledge and the anthem, I want to mention to you that we're not going to be meeting next week, but on the 9th, that's September 9th, we will be meeting, and the speaker that day will be Tony Jerry. Now, Tony is someone that you'll want to hear. Many of you received this book in the mail, and he is going to provide a copy for everyone here that comes. And I want to encourage you to invite your friends, because this speaker is going to help us in the future to basically get clarity, focus, so that we might get the results that we want here in our Rotary Club. He is going to be our speaker for the Rotary, it's the Legacy of Leadership Spring event, and I think it's going to be a great thing. So I want you to know him, want you to meet him, want you to be exposed to him. Now let's turn and put our hands over our heart and say the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Oh, say can you see? Oh, say can you see? What's so lovely weekend, at the twilight's flash gleaming, whose stripes and bright stars through the perilous night, o'er the ramparts we cross, so gallantly streaming, and the orders Thank you. You can be seated.
All right. It's that time of the day we get to express all the things that we're happy about today. And Richard, do you want to help me out? I will. Let me start it off. I am so happy that District Governor Howard Templin and his wife are be able to join us today. It's a pleasure having you today.
Thanks. All right. I am joyful to announce today that our daughter, Stephanie Ray, has been engaged this week. She has 3 older brothers. They're married. She's the last, and we are very happy. Thank you, bro. Yeah, Howard.
Well, I'm happy to be here at the Park Cities Club, a wonderful club, and it's the 45th club I've visited, and it's wonderful.
45.
I would like to introduce you all to my new friend. Stand up, please. This is Jim Thomas from the Fredericksburg Noon Club. 8 years a member down there, and his favorite service project is highway cleanup. Good for you.
Welcome. One last call for any more Happy Bucks. That's fine. Nice transition into introduce any guests that we have today.
So today I want to introduce Donald Carter, if you'll stand. He is a member of the Dallas Club and part of a contingent here visiting us today, and he'll have an announcement for us a little while later. Donald,
Thank you. Thank you for having me. Donald Carter with Cart Group Consultants. We're an HR consulting firm, and I'm here with the Dallas Club for Salute to America's Veterans. We'll hear about that later.
you want to introduce your
Charles Ashcraft, he's the founding member of SAV. Brian Market, he's one of our other members of the committee, and Ashley Givens, who runs our silent auction.
Great. Hey, Richard.
Thank you. Please welcome my guest, Mary Ann. She is a potential member to Rotary. This is her second visit to our club. Please help her, or help me make her feel welcome. Thank you.
A lot of you don't know Wayne. Wayne's been a member for how many years?
I don't know, probably 12, 14.
He can't remember, so welcome, Wayne.
All right. Thank you very much, and hopefully the guests will entertain becoming members of our club. Michelle Brown is up with a PCR Marketplace advertiser.
Good afternoon, everybody. Our marketplace advertiser today is Pat Martin from People's Newspaper. People Newspaper is all about community. They publish Park City's People and Preston Hollow People, award-winning community newspaper. They've been serving the community for nearly 37 years with an outstanding reputation for delivering quality editorial product. Recently, they won 4 awards for the National Newspaper Association in page design, advertising, and editorial content. Many of their advertisers have been our partners for the past 3 decades because they, too, are committed to great community. Their demographics, penetration, and readership are unmatched in Dallas. With a total circulation of 47,000, their advertisers' message reaches the right audience in great numbers. And according to our last reader survey conducted by Circulation Verification Council, 75% of the readers frequently purchase products and services from ads seen on their papers. They would be honored to help you in your brand and your company. So if you would like to advertise, definitely see Pat Martin from People's Newspaper. It's well worth your time.
All right, we have a special moment today. Many of you remember E.G. McMillan. His family is here for a memorial tribute, and Lee Waggoner is going to come up.
Thank you, President Jeff. Appreciate that. This is a special time for our club. We don't do this often because, thankfully, there is not that many reasons to. E.G. McMillan was a close friend of all of ours. Before I read the memorial, I want to introduce his family that's here today because some of them made a long trip from Tennessee just to be here. His daughter, Kitsy Hales, is here. Her husband, Ray, is here. And their son, Jack Hales, is also here. Jack lives in Dallas now, so we're pleased about him being here. Then we have Sam Carroll, who's a grandson, and we have Cecilia Hodges, and we have Amanda Gay, who are here also. They represent only a small part of the loving family that E.G. had, and we are grateful that they could do this and be with us here today. I'm going to ask everyone in the room to please rise and stand while I read this memorial. A tribute to and resolution on the life and service of E.G. McMillan III, January 22, 1939, July 6, 2021. Each and every member of the Rotary Club of Park Cities holds the deepest gratitude for the life and the work of our member, E.G. McMillan. E.G. McMillan III was a Renaissance man, a passionate learner, and a devoted Christian. He was the son of Alladine and E.G. McMillan Jr. and was born in Dangerfield, Texas. In addition to his parents, he was preceded in death by his children, E.G. McMillan IV, who went by Chip, Hunter McMillan, and his stepdaughter, Mary Elizabeth McCracken Carroll. He graduated from Southern Methodist University, earning undergraduate and graduate degrees in marketing, and was a member of Phi Delta Theta fraternity. After graduation, E.G. lived in Dallas and worked for Tracy Locke. He and Karen Cushman married and had 4 children, Chip, Scott, Hunter, and Kitsy. The family moved from Dallas to Dangerfield, Texas, to run the family grocery business, Piggly Wiggly. Later, the family moved to Seguin, Texas, where E.G. obtained his law degree from St. Mary's University. As a lawyer, he specialized in estate and title work and also became involved in the Kiwanis and the Seguin High School Booster Club. In 1995, while visiting his daughter Kitsy at SMU's Parents' Weekend, he became reacquainted with Carmen Cruz McCracken, and after years of dating, they married in 2000. E.G. was one who enjoyed giving back to the community, helping others, and sharing time with his family. He was an active member of the Rotary Club of Park Cities, as well as being involved in Exodus Ministries and numerous dance clubs. While he was a member of Highland Park United Methodist Church, he served as president of the Chancel Choir and Wesleyan Fellowship class. Big Mac, as he was called by his grandchildren, loved being a grandfather and had incredible pride in all of their achievements. Now, therefore, be it resolved that the entire membership of the Rotary Club of Park Cities in regular assembly on August 26, 2022, does hereby express their awareness of the privilege of having been acquainted with E.G. The club extends to his entire family its sincere condolences and wishes for peace. A copy of this tribute to be placed in the permanent records of the club, with a copy duly prepared and transmitted to his family, enabling us to retain the cherished memories of those who serve and whom we love. In deepest respect and admiration for our dearly departed friend, colleague, and fellow member, we hereby affix our signatures below on behalf of all members of the Rotary Club of Park Cities, and it's signed by Jeff McNaughton, our president, Pat Martin, our secretary. And I want to mention one other thing, because it happens that either yesterday or today, there seems to be some debate, was the anniversary date. And a picture popped up on my phone, which I have printed for Carmen, that has Carmen and E.G. celebrating one of their many anniversaries. So thank you for this. Thank you for standing. You all may be seated.
You know, the thing I loved about E.G. is every time you were around him, he had a smile on his face. He was a pleasure to have around. Next up, Kathy ALLRED with her new member speech.
Good afternoon, Rotarians and distinguished guests and visitors. I am so proud to be here today. First of all, I'd like to thank the people who didn't blackball me when I was proposed for membership. And second, I would like to thank the board for voting me in. I appreciate you very much. I've been a Rotarian for 32 years, and I'm very proud of it. A little bit about who and what I am. I was born in San Antonio to a military family, and one of my father's tours of duty outside of the United States was to go to England. I went there, moved with my family when I was 8, lived there until I was 12. And I have to warn you, I have a very quirky sense of humor, but it's not my fault, because I was subjected to a constant barrage of British television for 4 consecutive years. It's not my fault, I'm just saying. I loved living there, and early on my folks took me over to the continent. We came back, I was having a conversation with my dad, and he said, well, what'd you think? I said, well, I really like it, and I think I'd like to go ahead and go around the world. And my father, in his best East Texas accent, said, well then, darling, I suggest you get up off your lazy bottom and go get a job, because that's the only way you're going to be able to do it. Being his daughter, I said, well then you hide and watch, which earned me a, and well, anyway, so much for that. But it was the beginning of my desire to travel. I have been blessed to visit 115 countries. I have walked on all 7 continents. I have done a Rotary makeup on all of the continents except Antarctica. I missed, the weather was poor, I didn't have a choice, I just couldn't get there in time. There are 2 clubs in Antarctica. They both meet on Wednesday night at 7 o'clock. I may have to make another trip down there. Anyway. So my first job was a bookkeeper for the CPO club in Keflavik, Iceland. My second job, so to speak, was being a volunteer DJ for AFRS in southern Spain. AFRS is American Forces Radio station. So I didn't know anything about it, but I learned as I went along and did commercials and occasionally spun a few discs and whatever. And it occurred to me that I should be able to parlay that into a press pass. And I had heard that there was going to be a Formula One race up in Madrid. I was successful in that endeavor, and I was up in the press box with people who earned the right to be there. Writers for Car and Driver, Road and Track, really impressive people. And there was a little tiny incident that never got reported. There was, I'm sitting up there and I've got my lap chart, I've got my stopwatch and all these things, and a beautiful view of the whole track. And they brought us food, they brought us drink, and they emptied ashtrays, and I am embarrassed to tell you that at that time I smoked. So I had a cigarette and my ashtray disappeared. They had taken to clean it, and so I thought, well, all right. And I did that a couple of times, and somebody went, would you like to know the name of the gentleman? King Juan Carlos. That I am not in jail and with the key thrown away, I don't know, but clean living pays off. I don't know. Anyway, so going to that race really got me back into thinking about cars again, which I always loved. I went back, I joined a sports car club, I did small time racing, hill climbs, autocrosses, gymkhanas, rallies, just all kinds of stuff. And it was pretty spectacular. I even had my license up to and including Formula 4, which basically says I can race go-karts, but I don't usually tell people that part. I left Spain and I moved back to Texas. I moved to Plano. And one weekend, my son and my daughter and my stepdaughter said, can we go down to the school and play? And yes, of course, be careful, yada, yada. And a little bit later, my stepdaughter comes back and says, Mom, Dee and Bill are drowning, we've got to go. And it seems as how the kids had left the school playground and gone over to the construction site. It was a complex of a lot of new established homes and continued building. And there was a big mound of dirt. The kids had been playing King of the Mountain. There was a big hole that had filled with water. My son fell in, my daughter went in to save him, and neither one could swim. What I learned, my takeaway from that is, don't let that destroy you. There are ways that you can learn and take something positive from it. Later on, some friends of mine too, who were psychologists, would ask me, could you come into this counseling session with a patient of mine? They are going through what you have gone through. Do you think you can help them? And I was willing, and interestingly enough, it was very cathartic for me to go ahead and give of myself and my experience. So after that, I moved out to Southern California, decided to try different things, and I was a investigator for the United States General Accounting Office, which really kind of an interesting job. And then ultimately, I was a real estate broker, which I truly enjoyed. When you're a real estate broker, you try to put your name out there, and preferably not on the bus benches, but in other ways. So I was on the Planning Commission, and I was on the board for the Red Cross, and this and that and the other, numerous things. But then I ended up getting on the board of directors for the Orange County Office of Protocol, which had a sister city type relationship with the Los Angeles Counselor Corps, which meant that a lot of my friends were the people on there, which enabled me to travel very, very inexpensively. A few years ago, I moved back to Texas, moved to Austin, decided maybe I'd be better off in Dallas. I've been here 4 months. I am very grateful to this club for letting me join. I will do my best to support in any way that I can, and I thank you.
Donald Carter, real quick. Is both mics on? Is that what's causing the problem?
So I came up here quick and I told Howard to give me about 30 more seconds. He said maybe. We wanted to thank you from the Dallas Rotary Club for having us here to talk about Salute to America's Veterans. It is an event that we have for the last 17 years, and it supports two vital organizations centered around veteran health, employment, education, and personal development. The USO and the George Bush Institute, both highly respected in the veteran community. It's on November 9th at the Frontiers of Flight Museum, and over the past 17 years, we've been able to donate $650,000 to veteran organizations through this event alone. We have information on your tables for reference, and we're here to discuss any details that you may have. My contingency in the back, if they might stand, you can see them. But this year, we're excited to follow up last year's keynote speaker, who was Mr. Ross Perot Jr., with a current leader of the 3rd Army Brigade, or Corps, out of Fort Hood. We're very excited about that new speaker. We're looking for sponsors, volunteers, and any donations for the silent auction to help us continue the great work of the USO and the George Bush Institute. We have sponsorship packages available, but I wanted to auction off a USO umbrella for $1,000, a George Bush hat for $2,500, and the combo for $5,000. So if anybody wants any of these two things, they're very nice. Come see us in the back, and we have a lot more left in the bag. As we all say in Dallas, it's a great day to be a Rotarian. Thank you.
Thanks, Donald. All right, a couple quick announcements for our club. Reminder to sign up for Legacy Leadership class. If you have any questions, ask Paul Pyrock or Cleve Clinton. Last week you received a volunteer opportunities email. Please take a look at it and sign up for any of the teams that you want to be a part of. Tonight, Texas Rangers against the Tigers. Texas Rangers against the Tigers are playing tonight. If you're interested, the group is meeting out there. It should have been on it's on the email. 9/11 Memorial Heroes Run, Saturday, 9/17, September 17th from 9 to 11. They need volunteers. So in yesterday's e-hub that you received, there is a link, and it works to click it and go in there and sign up if you want to help out. And one last thing, again, we keep announcing September 25th, we got a big event at the Cowboys VIP Tour and dinner. Please sign up. All right, it's that time for a raffle. Howard, would you be kind enough to do our drawing? Sure. Any announcement? Quick announcement. So for those that don't know what we're doing here, so we're raffling off money, or raffling off tickets. We're raffling off money. If you win, you get the money. So raffling off money. If you're, I did it again, didn't I? You want to do it? No.
Yeah, I'll do it.
All right.
So,
I do it.
where's the money go, Jeff?
So the money goes to our foundation. The Rotary Club of Park Cities has their own foundation. If your ticket gets drawn, you're going to come up and you're going to draw a card out of this deck. If you draw the ace of spades, you get half of the pot. If you draw any other card, you get to take it home as a souvenir. And it will be taken out of the deck, so each week the number of cards that are available to be drawn are decreasing and your chances of winning are improving. With that,
What was the total pool?
oh, Mr. Salesman here, coming into today we had like $400.
So we start off with a goal to raise 100, and we actually raised, ready? $204. Thank you to everyone here.
50% increase. All right,
200%.
District Governor Howard Templin is going to draw.
You want to read it?
El Presidente?
Last four numbers of the coupon say 3674. All right. Woo! Close. He got the king of spades. You get to keep your souvenir. Thanks for participating. All right, our speaker today is District Governor Howard Templin. Howard is a native Dallasite. Another Longhorn is in the room. He graduated with a degree in architecture. He went on to work as an architect and capital improvements projects manager for over 47 years. He retired in July of 2020 from UTD, just in time to prepare for his term as district governor of 5810. Howard and his beautiful wife, Ellen, have 3 daughters and 2 grandsons. He is a 4th-generation Rotarian. He's been a member of the Dallas Club since 2009. He's a major donor for the RI Foundation. He was president of the first club in Texas in 2017 and 18. In memory, if my memory serves me correctly, did I learn that your brother also served as district governor, president and district governor up in Chicago at the first club in America?
And my father was president of the first club of Oklahoma.
And his father was first president of the club in Oklahoma. Pretty amazing family. Obviously, a very engaged Rotarian, and we look forward to hearing his comments. Ellen Templin, his wife, is going to come up and talk about her charity, Project Moses.
Of course it does that to me. I'm not good at these speaker stands. Project Moses is a group that I'm involved with through my church, St. Michael's and All Angels, which I go to with Fan. And we support about 11 different organizations that deal with human trafficking. Does that work? Oh my goodness. Okay. No, I can't do that. I'm not Madonna. Anyway, so these different organizations have different focus. So one does education to the public, and one has a safe house, and they have different needs, and that's kind of where our organization steps in and does donations and gifts. So I'm going to be really brief. So if y'all have any questions, you can ask me afterwards. So, okay, thank you.
It is a great cause. We got to stop that thing. I'm very pleased to be here today. I do sincerely believe this is a wonderful club, and so it's such a pleasure to come and look at all the great things you're doing. So I got 3 pieces of good news for you. First of all, no death by PowerPoint. Second thing is, I'm not going to tell any corny 1962 jokes. And the one that's really important, you may have heard about, is Rotary International's 2024-25 president is an American, Stephanie Urchik. And I think that's fantastic. So she will be the second woman president in the history of Rotary, and it sure took them long enough, didn't it? I want to thank the board. I had a very informative meeting, and hopefully I tossed out a couple of ideas that might be of benefit to all concerned. You know, I was thinking about, you know, what do district governors always talk about? We got one in the room, and he could recite this too. So we always talk about membership, foundation, and of late, public image. And I was thinking, okay, why do district governors always talk about this? And it dawned on me, really, it's kind of a circular function. From members, you have the opportunity for donations to the annual fund for the foundation, right? Those funds can come back for grants, and those grants can fund projects. And the projects have two very, very positive things. Why did we join Rotary? We joined Rotary because we want to help our communities. We want to make a difference. We're service-minded people, right? So it energizes and, you know, really helps your members bond and fulfill that desire to give back. There's another opportunity that's associated with that, and that is you have the opportunity when you're doing one of these local hands-on projects to invite people who are not Rotarians to come join you in doing the great work that you do. And that is fantastic. Now, the other thing that comes out of this is public image. Now, public image is something Rotary has been emphasizing quite a lot of late, because if you remember 5 or 10 years ago, it was the world's best kept secret. Nobody knew what Rotary was. They'd look at your pin and go, what is that? Rotary has made great strides in getting the word out about Rotary, and the clubs are an integral part of that whole effort. So when you do those projects, you have a public image opportunity. When you're doing something that's hands-on and out and about, how about taking a video of that? You know, Confucius said something about a picture in 1,000 words. Well, that's true. A video's worth 1,000,000. So do a video of people in action doing something that makes a difference in your community. Put it on your website. I saw one website I thought was really cool. When you hit the landing page, it runs the video of them doing a project. I thought that was pretty clever. And then also do action still shots. Put those on, if you have a Facebook account, put it on your website also, so that people land there, they see something going on they want to be a part of. So you see, it is a circular function, and it is all interrelated. Now, something else I want to talk about here is membership. Of course I'm going to talk about membership. What governor doesn't talk about membership? Because guess what? I'm 73 years old. In 15 years, I'm probably not going to be around. There needs to be somebody else to take my place and do good things in the world. And, you know, that kind of reminds me of something that President Jennifer Jones was talking about. She's the first president that I can remember that actually put emphasis on retaining members, okay? And when I was district membership chair, I was like a voice in the wilderness talking about this sort of a thing. But, you know, the deal was attract new members, attract new members, attract new members. And Jennifer Jones is saying we need to create friendly environments where we make our members feel valued and engage them. So there's two types of attrition. One is force majeure. There's nothing you can do about that, okay? People move away, they become infirm, they unfortunately pass away. That's part of life. You can't do anything about it. But there is something that you, each and every one of you members of this club, can do something about, and that is to create that environment where members feel valued, that you recognize them for the good things that they do, and you create that family type feel to your club. And that is really, really important, and that will improve retention. So that's on all of us. The goal I had set for membership is to have a net increase of 100 members for the year. Now, the way attrition works, we're probably going to have to attract over 200 members, well over 200 members, in order to achieve that growth. But, you know, it's coming out of COVID, I see a lot of clubs where the members are coming back, and I see new members coming in. So we can do this, and you're part of that growth, and I know you're going to do a great job of it. Diversity is something else that is being emphasized by Rotary, and rightfully so. The goal for Rotary internationally is to have 40% women members, okay? Now, I think this club does a really good job of it, but you know, you look at 40%, last time I checked, 52% of the population are women. Folks, still got some work to do. And I set a goal for the clubs as well as for the district of having at least 40% women in leadership positions in the clubs and in the districts. And you all have done great jobs, like this wonderful past president right over here. You have done a great job. And Happy isn't here, she couldn't come today, but she's a wonderful example also. And I'm very proud to say that at the district level, if you look at all the people in there, of all the positions, I think we have over 60% women in leadership positions. So I'm trying to lead by example on that. Besides, you all have much better ideas than I ever will. And you get stuff done. And then overall diversity is very important. You know, we've been missing opportunities in the past because of not really focusing on this. And what I was talking to your board about is consider doing a demographic study of your club, and then do a demographic study of the community that you're serving. And if there's a gap there, look for people, consciously go out and look for people that are Rotarians but just don't know it yet to come in and join your club. We're not just looking for somebody with a pulse. That is a waste of everybody's time. We're looking for people that have a Rotary heart, that want to give back to the community and will step up and participate in leadership and the activities of the club. Foundation giving is also something that is very important. As you know, it does help fund your grants that are district grants or global grants. And I set a goal of having 40% of the clubs in the district become every Rotarian every year clubs. Now, to achieve that, you have to have a per capita average of $100 or more and a minimum of $25 or more. So I tossed out a crazy idea to your board. They didn't quite throw me out, so maybe they'll consider it. But what if you sign people up with the Rotary Direct on the Rotary International website, myrotary.org? A lot of people, like 47% of the district members, don't even have an account on the Rotary International website, and they're missing out on all kinds of tools and opportunities to learn because they don't have that. They need to get signed up. But as far as the Rotary Direct, what if you had a meeting sometime, or maybe one of the social events, bring a bunch of computers, sit people down and sign them up. All you got to do is click donate. You put in your name, you put in your credit card number, you put in what you want to donate and the frequency, and it happens magically every month, and you don't even notice. Now, as you can probably see here, we're major donors, and we are Paul Harris Society. And for the newer members that don't know about that, Paul Harris Society means you donate $1,000 per year to the Rotary Foundation and or polio. Now what we did was we give part to the Rotary Foundation annual fund, so it comes back to grants, and the other part we give to polio. So the goal that I have set for the district is that we will have an increase to $300,000 to the Rotary Foundation. Yes, we're facing a bit of a economic headwind, but you know, I think this is doable. And particularly if you sign up for this Rotary Direct and become an Every Rotarian Every Year club, where all your members are part of that, okay? Now, the other thing, of course, is polio. The goal is to, and I set this a long time ago, is to collect at least $100,000 for polio. And as you noticed, polio is back in the United States. Everybody that is a Rotarian more than about 5 years know that you've been hearing it's a plane ride away. So we've got to do that. We've got to stop polio. Service is another thing. That's why we're here. The goal is to have 70% of the clubs in the district do at least one hands-on project a month. And it's not a hard thing to do. You all are already doing most of that anyway. But as I said, look at the side benefits of doing those that frequently. And then one global grant per year. And I believe you guys do that also. So you're the poster child. Strategic planning is something that is very important. And I was telling Jeff and the board that, you know, I've used you as an example of what can happen if you do strategic planning and you keep up with it on a regular basis and you redo it every 3 years. You're wonderful in that, and I thank you for that example. Keep up the good work. So the goal is to have 40% of the clubs in the district have a strategic plan, and those that, that don't have a plan do one. And the clubs that do, make sure that they update it regularly and review it and measure the progress you're making. Collaboration is another thing that I think is very healthy for Rotary clubs. And we're encouraging clubs to do things together. I've asked the assistant governors to get their clubs together to do projects together. You know, that cross-pollination is a really good idea. Exchange of ideas. You might pick up an idea that would be really great for your club and vice versa. And Rotary friendships are a wonderful thing to have no matter which club you belong to. Now, there's also going to be a really cool district-wide collaboration that we're going to do. We're on the 23rd of April through the 30th, we're going to do a district cruise like past District Governor Bill Dindy put on when I was president. It was 2017 and 18 or when we did that, and it was really cool. We went out of Galveston on the Royal Caribbean line, which is one of the ones that actually you don't get Legionnaire's disease. And we went to Cozumel, and then we went to Jamaica, and we did hands-on projects. And I got to tell you, it was inspiring to be able to do that. But you also got this collaboration opportunity. I met Rotarians I never would have met before and developed a relationship. And we got good ideas that we exchanged with one another. So I would encourage you to do that. The price tag on this is only $700 per person, tax, title, and license. So basically for a vacation, can you go anywhere and do 100 a day? No, you can't. And I promise you, we are going to be going to Roatan. That's an island off the coast of Honduras, as they say down there. It's one of the poorest ones in Latin America. Then we're going to go to Playa Maya and have a little fun in the sun for a little bit. And then we're going to go on to Cozumel and do projects there. I know that right now there is a grant that is in process for 50 water tanks for the Roatan because they have water problems there. So that's the kind of thing, books for libraries there. So there are lots of hands-on opportunities. I got to tell you, if you haven't ever done an international project hands-on, it'll step up your Rotary feeling. It's wonderful to do. And then, of course, in May, we have the Rotary International Convention in Melbourne, and I'll talk a little bit about that in a minute. Public image is, as I said, a very important thing, and I don't need to belabor that, but if you will do these things with public image, it will help your club. And it'll also help Rotary International because it gets the word out for everybody. I want to take an opportunity to talk about Jennifer Jones. How many people here have heard Jennifer Jones talk? All right. Is that the most incredible human being you have ever heard? I mean, she is incredible. So I'm going to say something totally outrageous, and all you older Rotarians, don't throw the rolls at me, please. I think she's going to be the best RI president since Paul Harris. And why do I say that? Well, if you read the article in the Rotary magazine last month, or the article, the same one, that was on the website, and you look at what that woman has accomplished. She is not president of Rotary International just because she's a woman. She is president of Rotary International because she's a fantastic Rotarian who earned her way to be there. And the Other thing I think is by the end of the year, when we see what she has accomplished for Rotary, I think she will have earned that accolade that I'm talking about. I really like, and actually I love her theme of Imagine Rotary. She says, we don't imagine yesterday, we imagine tomorrow. Imagine a world that deserves our very best, where we get up every day knowing that we can make a difference. I think that's a wonderful quote from her. And you know, the theme is kind of interesting. It's got some subtle meanings to it. There are three colors there: green, purple, and white. The green is pretty obvious. They can be interpreted a variety of ways, according to Jennifer Jones, but she said green for the environment, the new 7th area of focus. And then purple, most people know that when a child is inoculated for polio, they dye their finger purple. So that is for polio. And white is for peace. And ladies and gentlemen, we need peace, do we not? We need to work towards that. Paul Harris, in 1934, planted a tree on the Unter den Linden in Berlin, as they say over there, because he had faith in peace. And think about what was going on then. And we've continued that tradition of working towards peace. And I hope one day we achieve it. The colors together are interesting. They are the three colors are the colors of the suffragette movement. And the suffragettes, if you recall, they were beaten up, they were put in jail, they were ostracized, but they persevered and they got the vote for women finally. And that's an intentional nod by Jennifer Jones towards that. The 7 dots are the 7 areas of focus, and the circle can mean Rotarians coming together for fellowship or to do good work. The green line is called a digging stick, and that is an Australian Aboriginal symbol for work and getting things done. And I think that's entirely appropriate for Rotarians, don't you think? Now, she got all that because she was thinking about the Melbourne, Australia Convention, and she commissioned an artist, an Aboriginal artist, to do all this. And so I think that's pretty fantastic. You know, the vision statement doesn't get much attention, and I think it should. The vision statement, vision statement says, together we see a world in which people unite and take action across the world to create lasting change and in our communities and in our lives. The action plan that goes with that is increase our impact, expand our reach, enhance participant engagement, and increase our ability to adapt. And all of those things are included in the strategic plan for the district, as well as those goals I think you see. If we believe in and take action on the vision statement and the action plan and make them a basis of our plans, I am certain that will energize and motivate your members and have a very big impact on your club and on your community. Now, I wear this badge. It says, we've always done it that way. My brother gave that to me when he was district governor. And you know, the symbol in red means don't do that. And around the outside it says, don't be afraid to fail, be afraid not to try. If you do the same thing, you're only going to get the same results. And there's this guy named Einstein who had a theory of relativity, but he also had a theory about insanity, right? So Jennifer Jones said, we need to adapt and retool for the way the world is today. I had a quote from an astronaut named Mae Jemison. She said, never limit yourself because of others' limited imagination, and never limit others because of your limited imagination. Set bold goals, focus on those goals, and take action. And try new things like we were talking about, like the one-off projects and things. And this will energize your members and create an opportunity to attract new ones. A successful Rotary Club is about a team. Christine Kane had a good quote on this. To build a strong team, you must see someone else's strength as a complement to your weakness and not as a threat to your authority or your position. Everyone on a great team contributes. What are your talents? What are you going to contribute? Rotarians, step up and take action, and you will move your club forward. Participate, donate to the Rotary Foundation and polio, comfort and care for your members so they will stay, and bring in all kinds of Rotarians who just don't know they're Rotarians yet. Together, you can achieve great things that will make a real impact on your club and your community and the world. And as Jennifer Jones said, dream big and take action. Thank you very much. Thank you all very much. Thank you.
Any questions out there?
No, he wants to play Stump the Chump.
Welcome to the club. Thank you for coming.
Thank you.
I had the great honor and privilege of being president of this club 20 years ago, and there was a statistic, an astonishing statistic, especially for me. 90% of all Rotarians had never proposed a new member. I'm wondering if that's changed.
Yes, sir, it has. It's now 92. No, I don't know the statistic, but it varies club to club, and it obviously you can't invite too many Rotarians who don't know they're Rotarians. So last year was everyone bring one. There's some motive to the madness there. You might have to bring 6 or 7 before one joins that you want, but go out and do it.
Thank you so much for speaking today. A book will be placed in the McShannon Elementary Library in your honor.
Thank you. That's great.
With that, Ellen, can you come up a second? Sure. Our club is, as we traditionally do, has made a donation for your charity, and we would like to give that to you today.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Please eradicate all human trafficking. It is horrible. Boys and girls, it's crazy.
Yeah. What's the charity?
Oh, you didn't hear her talk about it?
Project Moses. So Project Moses does human trafficking.
So it's a mission founded by St. Michael and All Angels Episcopal Church in Dallas to highlight the truth of human trafficking, to provide financial and volunteer assistance to the agencies who work with survivors and see avenues of change.
You can look at the website, Project Moses. It's a good website.
Yeah, we'll afterwards in a second. And with that, I think Christine Volkner is going to lead us in the four-way test. Next week, there will be no meeting. Enjoy your Labor Day holiday.
The four-way test. First, is it the truth? Second, is it fair to all concerned? Third, will it build goodwill and better friendships? Fourth, will it be beneficial to all concerned?
Fifth, is it fun?
Yeah.